Hey, did you know we're also on Spotify? You can listen to No Offsides on Spotify while you're busting out reps in the gym, driving to your next tournament, mowing the lawn to gain brownie points with your wife because you're always gone at tournaments, or while you're getting in some much needed shooting and stick handling practice. So if you're into multitasking, make sure to follow us on Spotify, where you can listen to all of our awesome content on the Spotify app. And legend has it that we almost get as many listeners as Joe Rogan. They even say that Joe Rogan himself has begun listening to the No Offsides podcast since recently falling in love with the beautiful game of roller hockey, and he'll even soon have us on as guests, which is pretty cool. So be like Joe Rogan and listen to the No Offsides podcast on Spotify. What's up, Rink Rats? It's Woody. I'm here to tell you that this week's episode is brought to you by Champion Hockey. If you're looking for quality wheels, sticks, bags, and apparel, then look no further. Champion Hockey has everything you need to look and play like a champion. Check out top-of-the-line Legacy Series sticks and wheels and upgrade your game without breaking the bank. Go to champion.hockey to purchase your gear now, and make sure to check out Champion on Instagram at Champion Hockey to stay updated with products and events. Champion Hockey. Look like a champion.
No offside.
Welcome back to another episode of No Offsides. I'm Dan Dean and with my partner Justin Wood.
What's up, everybody?
Our guest today plays professional ice hockey in the ECHL, AHL, and 3-ice. But he also plays pro roller hockey for the Labeda Snipers. Hawkins, how you doing, man?
I'm good, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks for being here.
So you beforehand, you were telling me you almost had to push us back a little bit, huh?
Yeah, we had, I don't know what was going on at our rink. I think they were saying Paw Patrol or something like that. So they moved our practice back to 2 p.m. today. Which, I mean, in the end, it's a terrible idea to move a pro practice back to 2 p.m. just based off of what the guys can get into the night before.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you give the boys some time to have some fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of guys. You don't have to twist their arm to get into a good time.
So, I mean, it seems as if your team and you are having, you and Toledo are having quite the season so far.
Yeah, it's been good. We got a tremendous team and a pretty good group. Few roller guys on the team actually, so that makes it a little bit more fun. Myself, Mitch Lewandowski, Mike Prepavasis, a bunch of guys that have played roller hockey through our childhood, so it just makes it a little more fun.
Okay, so now Lewandowski, I mean, you guys obviously, Lewandowski plays in the summer circuit as well for roller hockey.
Yeah, he grew up playing for Mike Lalonde and with the Detroit Border Cats for a long time. And then Prepavasis grew up playing for the Oakville Coyotes back in the day.
Okay. All right. Well, it seems as if, right now you're leading ECHL in scoring and points. It seems like, when you go and you play for the, Mission Labeda Snipers, you put some pucks in the net at State Wars. Is that just something that you've done most of your life, or?
I'd like to consider myself to be a shooter, scorer, just if it goes in. But no, it's one of those things that I've always tried to use my shot to the best of my ability, and then when I take advantage of it, hopefully good things happen.
All right, and if you love this show, then you will also love the College Roller Foundation. The College Roller Foundation is a volunteer-run, tax-exempt 501c3 nonprofit organization that exists solely to raise and distribute funds to deserving college roller hockey student athletes in the form of scholarships. The College Roller Foundation isn't a tournament series, league, championship, governing body, or sanctioning agency, but rather works with partners to host events to raise and distribute all those dollar bills to roller players who also like to get their academia on. By raising money through donations and divvying out these scholarships to the players, the College Roller Foundation seeks to grow the game of roller in college. And if you're interested in finding more info, helping out, or donating, please visit www.collegerollerfoundation.com and make sure to follow them on Instagram at College Roller Foundation. College Roller Foundation, growing the roller game one scholarship at a time. It's time to join a revolution in roller with US Roller Cup, a premier roller hockey tournament series. The US Roller Cup is led by a passion for the sport. US Roller Cup is driven to create an unparalleled experience for players, fans, and coaches alike. With a focus on promoting roller hockey at all levels from youth to professional, we are committed to growing the game and fostering a sense of community within the roller hockey world. To find out more information, find tournaments near you, or to sign up for an upcoming tournament, go to www.usrollercup.com and be sure to follow USRC on Instagram at US Roller Cup. US Roller Cup, a revolution in roller.
I mean, you've had the experience right now you're in ECHL, but I mean, you've been loaned out for, the AHL. I mean, what's your experience kind of playing in those two different leagues?
It's tremendous, right? Like to play professional hockey in any way, shape, or form is fantastic. So, in my eyes, there's not much of a difference between either league. They're both tremendously hard to play in. I would say that the main difference is depth between teams. Like in the American League, your lines 1 through 4 are going to be awesome no matter what night it is. And then the East Coast League, you have your top 2 lines that are awesome, and then you have some fall off, or not in the high end teams, but some of the lower end teams. That's what you see.
Okay, I mean that's definitely interesting to see. You have. I mean, I guess what it comes down to is like, I mean, how did you start playing hockey? I believe you're a Michigan boy, aren't you?
Yep. Me and the Wood family. Yeah. So growing up, I grew up playing at Joe Dumars Fieldhouse out of Utica, Michigan. It's gone in the wind now. But my dad and actually my uncle, they started it, the whole family. So. And then my dad came on board right when they started to take advantage of that whole situation. So around 95. And then I played at Joe Dumars Fieldhouse until I was, I want to say 12 years old. Then they let my dad go, and he started the skate zone out of Rochester. So pretty sure Woodsy's been there a time or two. So, and I grew up playing there. I was roller first, then I transferred over to ice hockey. Like I think Tyler Spezia says the same thing. It's way easier to go from roller to ice than it is to go from ice to roller. So him and I both grew up playing at the field house. We played a lot for Matt Koleski. Rest in peace. He was one of the big time guys that took care of us growing up and really helped teach us. But no, roller hockey is in my blood. It was kind of how everything got started. It was all I wanted to do. I was at the rink my dad was running a tournament from 8 a.m. in the morning till 2 a.m. at night, and sometimes stayed at the rink just for games to start at 6 a.m. the next day. It was just one of those things where I was born basically at the rink, and that was my home.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds like a wonderful childhood, honestly.
I'll never complain about it.
Well, I mean, being at the rink and obviously all the time, it just obviously seems to have done something for you. I mean, look where you're at now in your career. Obviously playing for the Michigan Labeda Snipers is obviously the cherry on top.
Yeah. That all happened. It was, I think, let's see, what year was it? Might have been 2018, right around that time. Alkali was kind of redoing their whole thing, and I ended up not on their team, and Tim McManus, and asked if I'd want to play with them, and the rest is history. And it's been a blast playing with all those guys. A lot of guys I looked up to over my life in the roller hockey world: Greg Thompson, Kyle Kramer, like that whole crew. So in my eyes, it was just it was a no-brainer to go play with them.
Heck yeah.
So I mean, you mentioned it seems easier to go from roller to ice than ice to roller. Why do you believe that?
In my eyes, it's way easier to understand the edges and everything of ice hockey if you've played roller hockey first. If you played ice hockey first, coming to roller hockey, figuring out your balance and everything else is so different that it's really gonna challenge guys. I mean, obviously Mars Blade makes it a little easier with their new chassis and everything else, but the balance points of roller hockey going from roller to ice are 10 times easier to understand than an ice hockey player coming to play roller hockey for the first time.
Okay. I mean, I can agree with that. I mean, Justin, you could probably say, I mean, when we get new guys in our
I
league
agree.
and they come from ice, you're like, yeah, they need a season or two and they'll get their legs under them.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I mean, growing up, we had Vladislav Domestikov came and play with us a couple times, and Vladdy, and he'll probably be upset with me for saying this, but Vladdy couldn't skate. He'd wiggle around the floor because he felt like he was so far on his heels that he could fall or his skates could go out from under him, which I understand because obviously your ice skates are profiled and pitched to be on your toes, and you can't do that with your roller skates.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, who was it, Justin, that was at Nasty Cup? It was
James Neal.
James Neal, the real deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, you can obviously see he was in some sort of discomfort when he was skating.
Definitely.
Because he was very stiff, and I get he probably it's probably been forever since he's put on roller skates, but he definitely looked awkward, right?
He was also wearing the training version of the Mars Blades, which those will not help you play roller hockey, period.
Yeah, no. And that's what everyone was saying. It was like, he's wearing the wrong chassis.
Yeah. It's, I mean, if you, like, I live by Mars Blade. I wear the ice toque. I wear the roller chassis. They take good care of me. So, like that, the new one they came out with, I believe it's the R1, whatever the metal one is for roller hockey, is actually awesome because they made an insert that is where the toe is stuck in one position and only the heel moves, and that's the exact same way my ice hockey skates are.
Okay.
So
That's
it's
pretty
seamless
cool.
going back and forth. Yeah.
Wow.
Now, I mean, you said you played. Well, no, you didn't say you played Border Cats, but you grew up, and then I mean, you played roller hockey as a kid.
Yeah.
And so, like, what made you kind of transition to ice hockey? Was your dad owning a rink, or?
Well, I did play for the Border Cats growing up. We started as the Tour Venom, then turned into the Tour Border Cats. Now they're the Mission Bauer Border Cats, whatever you want to call them. You know what? I played roller hockey first. Then my dad, I was playing both, and I kind of played both all the way up. But I played double A hockey basically all the way until I was my my first year midget major, where I played with Parker, and I played as a defenseman, which is very odd because I can barely skate backwards. It was I always loved the ice hockey side of it because I grew up around guys like Chris Terry, Corey Conacher, David Booth, Patrick Kane played at the Fieldhouse, like guys like that were unbelievable ice hockey players. TJ Hensick, that were all good ice hockey players. So I wanted to basically be exactly like them. So at some point, like roller hockey kind of took a back seat, but I'd always come back to it in the summertime no matter what.
Okay. And I guess, and that's probably the reason why you always come back to State Wars, right?
Yeah, that's it's something I love to do, and there's nothing better than seeing the roller family every summer.
Yeah. Now, I mean, when you were younger, did you play in any of the other tournament series, State War, not State Wars, Narch or Tours?
Yeah, I originally, like, I want to say even until college, like basically all the way through, I would always play Narch and State Wars. Tours was always tough, but just because of the timing of it and everything like that. But growing up, I played Tours, Narch, and State Wars all the time. And now it's been State Wars, and occasionally I'll jump out to Narch if I have the time or something like that. You never know, I might end up there this year. But yeah, I always loved all three tournaments. My dad and Darren were great friends growing up, as he was with Ronnie Beilstein and Mr. Garsh. They all played with and against each other, so it was no matter what, if I have a way to get there and play it, I'll do it.
That's sweet. Yeah. I mean, I mean, you seem like a guy that even if there's you have free time, if there's any pickup hockey, you're probably there.
Yeah, 100%. It's like I'm a rink rat. I'm 29 years old and I still spend more time at the rink than anybody on our team. So nothing's changed. I'm still a kid in a candy store when I walk in every day. There's still a big smile on my face when I'm putting my skates on, and there's no bad day when you get to put your skates on in the morning.
No, I have to ask because I know you grew up with Justin's brother.
Mhm.
I mean, Who's got the better hit count on each other?
In the family?
No, like who? Like you guys said you played. You said you played against them, right? So like who's got more hits on each other? I mean,
Him and I don't hit.
My brother
anyone.
wasn't
We're
a big
both
hit.
skill guys. Yeah. Yeah, we I don't hit anyone. I don't think Parker did either. It was more of a who threw more sauce competition.
Oh, okay. I mean, you gotta have the sauce.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I actually wanted to talk about something. It was a story that I remember very clearly
Oh God.
from
here
when
we
you
go.
guys
I
were
think
playing together.
think I know what you're talking about, but let's hear it.
Well, it kind of ties into the fact that you're known for having a really hard shot.
Okay.
All right. I can't remember which rink it was. The one downtown Detroit. You guys were
City
playing
Arena?
Caesars. Yes, City.
Uh-huh.
And you just absolutely blast a clapper from the top, like maybe top of the circles.
Yeah.
Hit the goalie. This dude screams bloody murder.
I heard him.
And you busted his cup.
I don't know if it was cup or if I hit him square in the ribs.
I thought you
It was
busted
one of the
his
two.
cup.
There's been a time or two where I've done that, but City Arena and us playing for Cedars, there's a chance that it happened there. I remember it more happening at like a showcase in Chicago.
It could have been.
But yeah, no, that's happened once or twice before. And I feel bad for the goalie, but like he chose to be a goalie. It's his own fault.
Agreed.
Well, let's be honest.
Dan's a goalie sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah. Now I got to ask you. We're talking goalies, right? Are ice goalies as weird as roller goalies?
Yeah, they're the same. Okay. There's no difference.
So I mean, let's be honest here. You just made him even weirder. Just probably with a higher pitched voice if you hit him in the balls.
Yeah, I mean, he might only have one. We don't know.
That's true.
Quite possibly. Definitely no kids.
Oh, poor guy.
But you, sir, have a baby boy on the way, right?
Yep. Found out on Saturday.
I saw that little video. That was cool, man.
Yeah, it was really cool, the team, to do that. It was something special. Me and the wife kind of want to do something like that. And we had it where we could have all of our family there at one time, and all the boys decided to stay, and it made it an even more special moment. The whole staff, the coaching staff, everybody came out and saw it.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, so we get to invite a baby boy in August of 2024. So expect him on roller skates first.
Yeah.
I just hope he's a better skater than I am.
You know, hey, we can listen, as long as he's not, if you give him roller skates, as long as he's not running down the rink, we're good.
Hey, I mean, if he figures out how to put the puck in the net, I could care less if he can skate or not.
That's true.
Yeah.
Do you not think you're a good skater, Hawkins?
I've never been a good skater in my own eyes. I get A to B by all means, but is it pretty? Probably not.
Well, I mean, I guess playing 3-on-3 ice hockey, I guess all you need to do is get A to B, and hopefully you put the puck in that so you don't got to skate back.
Yeah, to be honest with you, it's really the same as playing roller hockey and that stuff. It ends up being a man-on-man situation or a puck possession thing. I think that they need to make a shot clock rule in that, where you got like 30 seconds to take a shot. If you don't, then it's change of possession. I think that would make it a tad more entertaining, both on the ice and the roller hockey side.
Okay.
Especially for 3 ice. But like you see pro roller hockey now, it just gets so slow and methodical that, like, if you see us and Black Ice play each other, one team may not touch the puck for 6 minutes.
Yeah.
So I'd love to see some sort of shot clock or over back rule show up in the next couple of years.
How long would that shot clock be?
I'd give it like a minute.
Okay.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, I mean, you because what's happening now, right, is you have a lot of people coming from ice to roller.
Yeah.
And they're like, they don't want to play the possession game. They just want to go.
No,
they just want to run and gun.
Yeah, by all means, I understand that, and I get it. Maybe And I don't mind the possession game, but at least possess it in the offensive zone.
Yeah.
So maybe there's no shot clock. Maybe it's once the puck crosses the red line, if the puck crosses back across the line, everybody has to tag up before you go back in. Something like that, something of that nature. That way it's really a offensive minded type of rule change.
I like that.
I like it. I mean, because once you get into changing one thing, then you kind of have to add other things, right? So, like, you're talking crossing back over. Is there a time frame to come back over to midline, right? And I think that's why you really, because it's a domino effect. So,
Yeah.
Because if it's the clock doesn't start till you cross the midline, then it's like guys are just going to camp on their side of the rink with the puck anyway and possess it.
Yeah, which that's kind of why I think if you do a shot clock situation, it's got to be the second you touch the puck.
Okay.
But if there's no shot clock, that over back violation thing would be neat to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely an interesting take coming from you, who's kind of been in the game for a while and have experienced all types of roller hockey and ice hockey.
So IIHF rules. This is precursor to now what they do with Worlds and USARs and the thing I did last or 2 years ago. IHF rules, you had to skate the puck over the red line. You cannot pass the puck over the red line. And the second the puck, they did icing. I don't obviously that there needs to be no icing. But you skate the puck over the red line. If the puck comes back over the red line, each guy has to tag up before the puck goes back in. Now you don't have to wait for the puck to go back in. You just have to tag up with the red line.
Huh, okay. Yeah,
just some different stuff that would make it a little more entertaining. But who knows? I guess we'll see what'll happen with France at State Wars this year.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, it is awesome that because you played Worlds, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's interesting that you'll be able to play against those guys again in just State Wars and not just Worlds.
Yeah,
and then
that's are
you applying for Worlds again?
No, because that baby's coming August 30th.
Oh, right.
That's the first week of September, I think, is Worlds this year in Italy. Yeah, that would go over like a fart in church. We don't need that.
Yeah.
Bring the wife and kid.
Yeah, we could get him citizenship. That way he can play there whenever he wants, but no.
You want a little Italian baby?
I mean, it wouldn't be a bad idea.
Dual citizenship right off the bat.
Yeah.
Or they just won't let the kid back in the country.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you'd be all right. But we just played at a tournament, US Roller Cup.
Yeah.
And they brought in the rule, the jailbreak rule.
Yeah, if you score on the PK that the penalty ends. I don't mind that.
Have you ever played anything where they use that rule?
No. Okay. That's the first time I've really seen it. I'm the guy that'll say I wish we go back to tours rules from years ago that there's hitting 3 feet from the boards.
Yes.
Like along the wall, there's contact allowed.
Well, you gotta be honest though. I mean, in at least pro, they let you guys play along the boards.
They do, but they don't, right? All the little shits with the fucking cages on, like to run around and swing their sticks. But the second anybody who doesn't have a cage on flashes them on the wall, it's immediately called. And sadly, that's just how they do things. They'd rather a guy swing his stick than have any body contact.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I threw a cage on for the sole fact that I've lost all 4 of my front teeth are all half fake.
Yeah, by all means, I get it. Trust me, I understand it. But if you're gonna go play in pro at State Wars, there needs to be some sort of idea there that if you're under the age of 18, you probably shouldn't be playing pro. First off.
Yeah.
Second off, if you're playing in pro, the whole idea of having a cage on in pro isn't normal. You don't play with a cage on in pro ice hockey, do you?
Yeah.
So that's my whole thing. Like, if you want to actually make it legit, then let's make it legit.
Yeah.
Okay. I like it.
Yeah.
Like, and that, and
I
even if that makes it a mandatory visor rule, like who cares? At least that way everybody gets the fucking cages off.
Yeah. I always say I like the cage off because I feel like if I chirp with a cage off, it's more valid.
Yeah, I like that. A lot of guys that run their mouths with cages on are usually scared. So
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's say a majority of them.
yeah, that's
Dan's feeling attacked right now.
I have no problem throwing like just taking the helmet off before going. That does not bother me at all. Like
I'd say allow fighting, but I think that somebody would get seriously hurt and it wouldn't look good.
no,
And then
it'd be a shit show because like especially with let's say I mean you have some older guys playing, right? And so in their 30s, and I don't even know, there might be some guys in cusp in their 40s as well in the pro, right? So let's just say they go on a bout with a 18, 19, 20-year-old.
Yeah.
I mean, dad strength wins 100% of the time.
I mean, the guy who understands just how to stay on his skates wins 100% of the time.
That's true.
And like, there's no more Chad Siebels. There's no more Jamie Yoders. There's like Patty Maroon's the biggest guy you're going to play against. And let's be honest, if somebody's dumb enough to fight Pat, then they deserve what's coming to them. So like, that's just the cage thing bothers me.
Have you ever been in a fight in roller?
At Dumars, yeah, but there's no point in me doing it since.
Yeah.
Like if anything, like I'm gonna hold a guy out because it's gonna be fun. Like, what do I have to lose? I have an ice hockey career, potentially going after some little shit that has a day job tomorrow. So there's no like that. It's a lose for me. Like Garrett Ross. So when I used to play with Garrett Ross, and he was a prospect for the Capitals, the Washington Capitals, and somebody would run their mouth or something like that, and be like, "Man, if I fight you, there's like I have everything to lose. You have nothing to lose." So what's the point of me or Spees or Pat Maroon or any of those guys fighting anyone when we have a job that starts in September, October, compared to the working out of a desk?
Yeah, for sure.
So that's kind of the way I think about it.
Man, I just keep thinking about Dumars.
I miss Dumars.
It's sad that place closed.
Oh, it sucks. There's nothing like it. That was like the mecca of Midwest roller hockey. For
sure. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, where you been playing roller lately?
If I'm home, I play at Fraser.
Okay.
Fraser has they put in two roller sheets in the summertime.
Is that where the Bordercats are playing out of?
Yeah, they brought all the guys over from Dumars over to play there. Okay. I play in a street hockey league in Toledo. That's a lot of fun. Nice. It's actually a blast. With a couple guys I played in college with, they play with a ball. I hate it, but it's fun.
Do you think the ball helps or hurts your stick handling?
It hurts it because it's filled with water, so there's no rhythm, there's no nothing. You chip it out in front of you and chase after it.
Are those the balls they used in the pro beach hockey, Dan?
I thought in the pro beach hockey they used like the Milik balls.
Yeah, they use the heavy water ball at when all the guys play beach hockey in California.
All right.
Yeah. So that was I broke one over the post, and water splattered everywhere. That was funny.
What's the surface? Is it just concrete or asphalt?
It's concrete with roll on. Like, do you know what roll on is?
I think
so. It's like a thick paint that they put on top. They really need to repaint it. That shit's dangerous if you're falling. But yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Hell yeah!
Shout out the Gremlins. That's our team. That's the one team I have too much fun with.
That's pretty sweet, man. How often do you guys play?
It's every Saturday. I got to play one game last year, sadly, because I was always gone for 3 ice or something of that nature. But it It was a blast. You might be able to look it up. I think it's like Toledo Street Hockey League or something like that.
We'll find it. We'll pull something up.
Yeah, I think the one game I played and I had like 7 goals and 3 assists. It was fucking something stupid.
Sounds like Dan in our league.
Oh, it was a blast.
That's awesome. So, is it still 4-on-4 or is it 3-on-3?
4-on-4.
Okay. How big of a rink would you say?
Full sheet.
Really?
In the wintertime they convert it and they have a chiller, so they actually have an ice rink.
Wow, that's pretty lucky.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Do you play in that as well?
No, I've gone out and helped coach when they have the ice sheet out there, but that's about it. I try to convince our coach and everybody to do a practice out there, or like a shinny, like the sweatpants and shin guards with beers and a grill or something like that. That'd be fun.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, so I found it. I found it's the Greater Toledo Inline Hockey League.
Yeah, GTIHL.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so the Gremlins won it last summer.
Yeah.
And this is roller hockey in a nutshell. Save percentage.
Yeah.
0.645.
Yeah. They play in steel toe boots. They don't wear skates.
That's insane.
Yeah.
With a solid 11 goals against average. So these must be some high scoring games.
Oh, it's literally hilarious.
It has to be. There has to just be wild rebounds and stuff too with the ball.
Yeah.
15-6, 11-10. So it's like, yeah, it's 6-7 goals and up per game per team.
Yeah.
It's
the finals a 3-game series.
That's sweet.
Yeah. So I had to play the first game of the final, and that was it.
I was gonna say,
up on the screen.
I was gonna say because I guess, yeah, because during the regular season, I guess they don't keep the stats for playoffs because your name's not on the.
Oh, if you search up GTIHL and my name, it might come up. Because somebody sent a picture in our team group chat.
Let's see. Got playoffs: 4 goals, 3 assists, 7 points.
Yeah.
In a loss too.
Yep. And 1 penalty.
Yep, there is a PIM there. Yep.
Because I buried someone along the boards.
Nice.
I speared someone too, and they didn't call it. That was even better.
Jesus.
Felt like I was playing the coast.
Oh God.
Oh. Yeah, we our rink is outdoor, asphalt painted.
Yeah.
So we love the elements, and we love pollen, and we invite all the leaves to float into our rink.
Yep.
That's the funniest. This dude's eating it on the pollen and leaves.
Oh,
you can't even go into the corner.
No, I was half tempted to wear my girdle out there. Last thing I want to do is fall on my hip or my ass. Fuck that.
Oh yeah. I always say elbow pads are the must. I've seen some people mess up the elbows.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, it blows my mind anyway that guys play without elbow pads.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Because all it takes is one errant stick in your feet, and if you can't catch it with you have to use your hands to brace it. If you're unable to, you're shattering your elbow.
Also, if the guy's going to shoot, I am ruthless with a one-handed slash.
The shit whip, like where it comes all the way across.
Yeah, just the one-handed.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Now you're infamous. I mean, Justin, you got a video of Hawkins.
Oh yeah.
Pulling a Mishy as social media's called a version of the Mishy, of the Mishy. Because that's the name of it. We don't call it the Michigan anymore these days. We just call it the Mishy.
Yeah, that's what kids do. They can't speak full talk anymore, so they just come up with new things.
Now, I mean, there's a rumor mill because apparently NHL wants more scoring, but they don't want you to do it in style that they might ban the Michigan.
That'll never happen.
No, okay.
No, it's below the crossbar. It's what are they going to go like full semi-pro foul? No, 2 fouls. You can't just go flying through the air like that, Jackie. Like, what do you think they're going to do? Like, so that's like saying a puck comes popping up in the air and you're going to hit it out of air and put it in the net. They're going to be like, oh nope, not allowed to do that anymore either.
Yeah, good point.
I was watching someone talking about I don't remember which 2 players, and they're convinced that they're practicing passing to each other's hands, rather than to.
It makes no fucking sense. Like
they're making fun of me because I do that all the time. I'll send when me and Dan would play together. I'd send him a head high pass because I knew he was at the other end of the rink, and I just figured, hey, he can grab it and bring it down.
There's nothing wrong with it.
As long as it got there.
Yeah, let me roll this video real quick because we talked about it, so we might as well show people what we're talking about. Here we go.
Spin around in Michigan, and I pulled it, tucked it back behind my college goalie, Jake Toit. Rochester, Sterling Heights native.
Your coach loved it.
Oh, John LeClaire?
Yeah.
That made it even better.
He had a huge smile on his face.
Oh, he's a legend. He's one of the best human beings in the world.
Yeah, this is pretty dirty, man.
I had a more fun one in the ECHL All-Star game this year. I did
What'd
a
you do on that one?
backhand spinner on Michigan.
Oh,
Nice.
Damn.
Yeah, that was a little bit more fun.
We had Mike West on, and during the Chicklets Cup, he hit one. It was like a Michigan from 30 feet out.
It's probably just inside where a blue line would be.
I saw a video of that.
Yeah. So we were told like you gotta have him on. Give him his glory and fame. And we're like, all right, well, all right, sweet, whatever. And he's a fun guy, and he got to talk with a bunch of he got mentioned on the Chicklets Cup podcast and stuff like that. So yeah, why not?
That was, I mean, when you do something like that, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You gotta have some fun with it, right? Like in game 2 years ago, I cut to the net and did a backhand Michigan move, picked it up and shoved it under the bar. So it's like, just if you're not having any fun with it, what's the point?
Agreed.
Well, and I feel like the 3 ice is pretty much that motto, right? Is go out there, it's a new dynamic of a type of way to play ice hockey with a roller hockey infused in it, and it's do whatever the hell you want.
Yeah,
which sucks for the goalies, but it's great for the players.
Again, they chose to be a goalie; it's their own fault.
Agreed.
You can't have any remorse for people that make the decision to be a goalie.
Okay. Now, do teams get drafted for 3 ice?
Yep, there's a draft for it every year.
Okay, and is it same captains, or depending if those guys play again, or? Nope,
it's everybody goes back into the bag after the following year. So they sign everybody their contract, and then if you get drafted, you play, obviously. But if you win, it doesn't matter. You could be drafted by a new team the following year.
Okay,
that's cool.
Makes it a little more fun.
Yeah, exactly. Another fun element to it where it's a little shooken up.
Yeah, there's no super teams. It's just different, and it makes it a little more fun that you could play with somebody else every year.
Damn. What's the physicality like in that league?
There's not much of it. It's literally high end. Let's rephrase that. It's fast-paced 3-on-3, no contact.
Okay.
And obviously, you're gonna have your guys that cherry pick. You're gonna have your guys that do this and that, but it's pretty fun.
It looks like fun.
And they get paid for it. It's just the treat behind it.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Now,
Dan, you look like you're brewing something up.
No, I'm sitting there because I'm thinking 3S has new jerseys coming out. They got new venues coming this year.
Yeah.
There's some big names. I mean, another roller guy that whether you play against is Chavo, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, I was just kind of thinking like, you play against them in 3 ice, and then you usually probably play against them if you get them in round robin or playoffs in State Wars, right? So I mean, like, is there a difference in playing against these guys on ice and then when you go and play them against in like the North American roller circuit?
Yeah, they're completely different players. In my eyes, there's no player that's the exact same in roller and in ice hockey.
Okay.
Like,
That's fair.
obviously, guys are going to be different in ice because there's hitting and there's contact and there's different things like that. Roller hockey for me is way more of a skill game and different things like that. But then when I go to ice, I have to bear down and win battles and do different things like that. In roller hockey, it's a little different because I mean, I'm not going up against a guy that's played 6 years in the coast and 3 years in the American League and different things like that. I'm going against some kid that plays roller hockey on the weekends that I'm going in the corner with, and I'm going to be honest. If he's going to hit me, I'm going to bury the kid. That's kind of the way I look at it sometimes. But then you play different teams like the Palma guys that have all played forever and they know roller balance better than anybody. It's like those are guys where you have to play a conservative game. So John's always going to be a offensive type of guy, always roller hockey or ice hockey. I think in roller hockey he's a better skater. I mean, obviously, I'd probably put myself the same way, but I haven't gotten to see him play this year at ice hockey, but he'll never change roller in my eyes. He'll always be offensive and always be a threat.
Who do you think is kind of one of the bigger threats in roller right now?
In terms of like one player,
Yeah.
it'll always be Travis Noe.
Okay.
And what makes him so dangerous?
He plays defense. He plays offense. One-on-ones. He's really good. He's got a good vision of the ice or good vision of the floor. And if you give him a chance to score, he's going to. And when he plays with Junior Cadiz, they're both lights out together. In my eyes, it's the same thing of me and Tyler playing together since we were 4 years old. It's that type of chemistry. So, and they're dangerous no matter what happens. And when Trav is playing like Trav, it's a very dangerous and fun thing to watch.
It's awesome.
Okay.
Would you say their team is also the most dangerous right now?
Yeah, they've been the most dangerous probably the past couple of years. I mean, they get a little younger every year too. They add a piece or two with like Kyle Mayhew and different guys like that. So like they do things in my eyes the fun way. They keep the same group. They like us, like the Snipers, we kept the same group. It's the same guys we played with for a while now, as and Palma does the same thing. So it's always fun to see them, always fun to see them play, and it's never fun to play against each other.
Well, and they might be the only team too that has like the mecca of having like their own rink.
Yeah. They definitely have their own rink.
That rink is insane.
That's awesome. That's the Nigers for you.
Yeah. Now, I mean, so you sit there and you're telling us your team, the Snipers have been playing together for a really long time, and so, but like, we only get to see your team fully together for State Wars.
Yeah.
I mean, what are these other guys kind of doing in the off season to kind of stay fresh for?
Well, most of the team plays roller hockey year round. Like, that's the way I look at it. I mean, obviously you got the guys that play ice, me, Matt White, Jack Holmes, now the coach of Lindenwood, so he's doing different things, but he still plays roller all the time. His little brother Charlie Combs plays ice all year. Blake Dangos, ice hockey guy. Brett Robinson plays roller year round. It's different things like that, right? So you got your guys that can constantly play roller hockey, and then you got your guys that are like me, that are ice in the fall, roller in the summer.
I mean, I know you guys have been playing a while, but I mean, at first when you guys were playing ice all year round and coming together from a group that was playing ice and roller and coming together, was it difficult at first to kind of mesh as a team, or?
I mean, usually it's the first game as everybody's kind of figured out how to play roller hockey again. But other than that, it's like we're such a close group that we all know how to play with each other. If anything, it's the one new guy that we're just trying to get used to.
I sit his ass on the bench.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah. Do you have any goalies that you play against in State Wars that you really like scoring against? Like
That I like to score against?
Yeah.
Ooh. I mean, I like to score against everybody.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who you are. If I get to shoot against you, I want to score on you. Probably the one is what's Sam Eisenhower's brother name? Is it Joey Eisenhower?
Sounds right.
It might be, yeah.
A couple years ago we were playing at State Wars in Fort Wayne. This is when we won it.
Nice.
And I came by, I took a shot and he slid out of his net and tried to take my knee out, or tried to take me out in general. So I make it my personal vendetta to score or shoot pucks at his head or try to break a collarbone or shoot at his ears so he can't hear anything the next couple days. Like, I make that my vendetta.
That's fair.
People don't forget.
Yeah.
And I don't think he's a bad kid. He just made a bad choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and I like Sam. I like Joe. I will never forget that he slid out of his net deliberately to try to take out somebody going full speed, and he's done it. He did it to other people the same tournament. So when you got a bad angle and you don't really have much to shoot at, I'm shooting for ears and shoulders and anything you can hear of. Yep, exactly. There's 2 rules: shoot to score, shoot to injure.
All right. Now,
It's
all right. I'm using that from now on.
It's a fantastic rule to go by. Because guess what? The next time you come in and shoot, they're thinking about it.
Yeah. Now, is that also for like shooting and like for at defenseman too?
No, I mean, if anything, the first guy that comes to block a shot on you on the power play, you zip it close to him, and then they're like, fuck, I don't really want to do that again, and then it's different the next time.
I guess if someone does something to you, just take care of it on the boards.
You could do something like that. I don't really fucking need to anymore. You got guys like Jack Holmes on your team or different things like that have to deal with. You got to deal with going to a corner with Jumbo Jack. That's not going to go well for you.
How big is he?
He's got to be 6'3", 215, 220. That's not, and he literally looks like a very mean human being.
Cauliflower ear and everything.
Oh, it might as well.
Razor blades in the gloves.
Yeah, the Peaky Blinders or roller hockey.
Yeah.
There you go.
Now,
so go ahead, Dan.
No, well, you go, because I was going to talk about kind of the younger teams, but go ahead, Justin.
No, bring that up.
So I'm interested on your take on some of these younger teams, like the Skittles.
Yeah.
And because it seems like you played them in the last game, and like the Blood and Feathers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems like the Skittles have just gotten better year after year.
Yeah, and they're really good, right? But they only play with 8 guys. They never really play with like we play with like a 12-man roster. We play with 3 lines. I think you see like the teams that really last the longest have between 10 and 12 guys majority of the time, and that's while they last those tournaments. By all means, they're an awesome team and they're hard to play against, and if you give them the chance, they're dangerous. Blood and Feathers, they play man on man. They play tight. I mean, I think sometimes they lack some scoring power, but they play the game extremely hard. So, and they play a bit of a trap. Sometimes they play that box, which obviously it sucks to play against, but there's nothing you really do about it. You could try to break it and shoot a puck at somebody, but that all depends on the day.
Yeah, they found themselves struggling to beat the Bucks at USRC.
Really?
They went up
Someone pulled
against
it
a
on them.
team. Yeah, they went up against a team that hit some injuries, and they had 6 guys.
Yeah.
And so Blood and Feathers was running full bench, maybe 10 guys.
Yeah.
And this team just boxed up,
Yeah.
and they couldn't do anything.
It was funny is if a lot of people don't understand it, but if you play against the box, you run your offense like a power play. And whoever your shooter is, you stick them directly in the middle of the box and run an overload on the other side. So you're going up, down to the goal line, back to the middle, up to the top. And at some point, they're going to break down and they're going to leave that guy right in the middle wide open. So you're going to have a grade A scoring chance every single time.
That's cool. So switch to a diamond power play to beat that.
Yeah. So if you want to switch sides, the half wall guy moves to being the bumper guy, and he's right in the middle.
Interesting.
And nobody really ever thinks of it that way, but there's that works. You could run something downhill where you run 3 guys at one time and the one guy high. So you got one guy that's net drive, and even if he's not net drive, you stop him right in the middle of the box, send the guy that's going far side right back door, and then leave the guy high. So you have 3 options. If you don't score, you go wind up and do the same thing again until they're like, fuck, this sucks playing in a box.
Now, I am curious too on what your thoughts are. I mean, I don't know. I haven't really seen much video on like the Snipers power play. Do you guys run a diamond? Do you guys run a box on the power play?
It just depends on how the other team plays.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you got like, a lot of these guys, Roadrunners, Black Ice, they're running the box on the power play.
Yeah.
Right? They're just puck movement and then trying to hit usually guy back door wide open.
No. Ours is usually it's relative, right? Hockey's a game of reactions. You read and react off the other team. So if that team is going to play hard too high, you go into a box and play too low right next to the net and play 2-on-1s every single chance you get. If they're going to play kind of a relative triangle where they're going back and forth, you basically take the box and swing it and constantly moving guys back and forth until you find a lane, and then there's a backdoor play open.
Okay. So you guys play an adaptive game.
Yeah,
so
I figured with age comes knowledge, right? We got to be one of the older teams out there.
Yeah, I would be interested to crunch those numbers for sure.
Yeah, I think we're definitely up there, but
yeah, I mean, Justin, you were going to say something before I interrupted you.
Well, I was going to ask you if you've noticed any changes in roller, over the years, because you have played for at least 10 years. Well, way more than that now.
Pro, I've played since I was 18, so 12 years ago now. Even like 16 before at the terms you couldn't hit it. The biggest change, honestly, roller hockey's growing big time to me.
Yeah.
Like I think COVID helped that too, because roller hockey's way more budget friendly, and it was something to do outside for a lot of people. And they're like, oh wow, we could do this inside. And then you have Chicklets Cup, and you have all the different things where those guys are promoting roller hockey and different things like that. But I think it's gotten bigger, and I think the participation amongst more elite ice hockey players is becoming more and more a thing, which I think is by all means pretty cool. You get Adam Ernie, who's playing the NHL now for what? He's a good amount of time, 6 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like you get guys like that want to come play. You get Pat Maroon that wants to come play. Matt White is one of the better players in the DEL and the German Elite League, so he comes back and plays. Taylor Aronson played. I believe he played in the KHL. You got myself and Tyler, ECHL, American League. Like it's stuff like that. So the more you draw better players, meaning better ice hockey players, they're not always going to be better roller hockey players. I think it just helps bring more and more people to the sport.
Agreed.
Yeah, I mean, you look at just all the guys that are even just making just content in their free time, right? And it usually ends up being some sort of roller hockey stuff, whether it's with like a Green Biscuit or something like that, right?
Yeah.
And so
Swaggy P.
Yeah. Right. And so you get all these guys that are mostly ice that are doing stuff on roller because it's like, well, I can't always have my ice skates on.
Yeah.
So, it's it's great for the sport.
100% is. And PD Lennis is actually, he's an awesome guy, Swaggy P. So he's been doing a bunch of stuff with roller hockey as of late. I mean, I love the big free tournaments. I would like to see them go to different places like State Wars does, instead of always seeing the one in Florida and always seeing the other one in California at a rink with no showers. But
They
we're
don't
not going
have
to talk
showers
about
out there.
no, but we're not going to talk about that. I'd love to see tours come back to Taylor in Michigan. Like that was always a fun one. They had 3 sheets. I'd love to see Narch go back to where the Florida Everblades play at Hertz Arena, or what we all grew up with Tico or Jermaine.
Mhm.
Like I'd love to see stuff. I'd love to see maybe an uncharted territory. Maybe go back to Texas. They did tours in
Yeah.
Texas one year in Frisco. That was awesome. Just to see it go to different places to kind of grow the sport. Maybe even do one in Boise, Idaho. Do something like that. Something crazy. Like just to get more and more people to want to do it. Obviously, it's the budget friendly sport, right? So
Yeah.
and I've really liked what equipment companies have done in terms of making it a little bit more accessible in terms of higher end skates being $300 instead of $700 or $800.
Mhm.
Tour did that tremendously with their skate that they just came out with like a year or two ago. So, and Mission did that with their 3X Pro. I think it was a $500 top of the line skate instead of the $1,000 one. So to see it be more and more accessible to parents that don't necessarily have the money for the $400 or $500 a month ice bill, it's awesome. And we gotta see it through to see more and more people come to the sport, because what it was in the 90s and early 2000s, the roller hockey that was, probably say a lot of people say the best of all time at that point. With you had RHI in the 90s, and then you had like 400 team tournaments in the early 2000s with Narch and tours, and then State Wars came about and it became even more. So you just want to see the sport grow, and that's all I want to see. Like I want to
Yeah,
see kids
definitely.
enjoy it. I want to see kids enjoy it. I want to see the adult teams come and have a good time. And in reality, you got to have a lasting impression to where a kid will go home and say, "I had a blast that weekend. I want to do it again." And that's all you really need.
Yeah. Now
Definitely.
it's seeming like you're liking State Wars because they move around and you get to go to different places.
I like State Wars because Tim's my coach, and he's done a pretty good job with growing the game with kids and everything like that. And I've always liked it in that sense, and I always liked the idea of people from the same state playing against each other. I feel like that's always been cool. Um, I listen. I was an arch kid growing up. Like that was the big one to win. Tours was always the precursor to an arch, and now it's, or like the warm up for an arch is, there's a lot of people used to call it, but now it's, tours is huge. People
Mhm.
love it every year, and they've done an awesome job with growing the sport. State Wars has done an awesome job with growing the sport. Now Darren's done a great job with growing the sport on the West Coast by all means.
Yeah.
But I want to see Narch back in this side of the country. Maybe throw tours to that side of the country for a year, something like that, something different. Just change it up. I'm tired of the same shit.
Yeah, I mean, they start. I mean, it after I guess COVID or whatever it was, there did seem to be like a turf war kind of thing going on,
Uh-huh.
and so they have kind of broken that a little bit because Tours went out for their winter nationals to Cali, and
Yep.
then Narch came to PA. So there seems to be some movement there. How
Yep.
much? But you figure, going along what you said, Narch only does qualifiers up to like Colorado.
Yeah.
And then Tours does a little more expanding with that, but qualifiers aren't what they used to be either.
No, they weren't. And I don't think they will be by any means, but
Yeah.
it's the days of the Joe Dumars field houses in Oakville where they had the rink where they'd have probably 130 teams for a weekend on 2 sheets. like stuff like that. Dumars had the 2 sheets and the rink if we needed it. Like they did a couple good tournaments out of Chicago and Palatine. Those were always fun. But again, I think the years of the qualifiers have kind of come and gone. Like those are all usually youth tournaments. It's not going to happen for the adult teams or anything like that. But I guess in my eyes, if you're going to do a pro tournament in any way, shape, or form, I feel like you got to do it at a rink with showers. Probably with and honestly, like I really like the way that Tours has done it with the Hospital Ice Center, where they have the pretty good seating for when they do pro. State Wars has done that with really good seating when there's pro and different things like that. I'd like to see it where maybe a couple of pro guys are doing some sort of clinic, like with the kids before or after, or
Okay.
if there's just like a little mess around time where the pros get to hang out with the kids and the kids get to hang out with the guys that they look up to. I think that's something that's always cool. I got to do that growing up with all the guys at Dumars. So again, the only thing I want to see is the sport grow and the sport thrive. I could care less who does it or how they do it. I just don't ever want to see it die. That's the way I look at it.
Agreed. And a couple more showers, right?
Yeah. Yeah, rink with showers. Rink.
Well,
I'm with you.
Yeah. Well, Justin will take a shower or a hose.
Yeah, you give me a hose, I'm fine.
That's what I end up doing is just going out back and finding a hose or a bucket or something because I can't do it.
I'm not getting in my car and driving home that way.
No, we're trying to put together a rink right now, and we're kind of talking about options. And they were like, showers would be nice. And I was like, no, let's do showers.
Showers are mandatory.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it is through a county. So it's
always difficult.
Yeah. It's kind of like, at this point, we're kind of at the mercy of what do you have available for us?
Yeah.
Right.
But I understand that 100% because, I mean, growing up, what do we have? We had what's the park in Rochester we'd always go to? Borden. It was outdoor. Borden Park had outdoor, had roller floor. Like that was fun. Obviously, they weren't wasn't a real big sheet. It was fun enough to play 3-on-3. But
dude, I looked it up. It's 65 by 30.
Yeah, it was perfect for 3-on-3.
Oh, it was great.
The amount of fights that I think I got in there over anywhere else would have been different, but that place was a bloodbath.
Oh yeah, dude. And people so angry all the time.
Who fought there more than anybody was Mitch Jones.
Dude. If Mitch played roller, we'd get him on this podcast for sure.
He still plays.
Is he playing?
I think he plays every once in a while. Yeah, he's playing in the Federal League.
Dude, he's an absolute animal.
Yeah, you got to get Mitch on. He's hilarious.
Dude, that guy.
Fuck, he's one of the best. But even a rink like that where you can, or if you can, I'm trying to think. There's been plenty of rinks that shut down and they'll sell their floor.
Mm-hmm.
But if you guys were able to just get a floor and say put the floor on the asphalt, there you go. There's your first thing, and not a indoor floor. I know what you're thinking, Dan. I heard the sigh. You need the outdoor floor.
No. So the sigh wasn't for that. The sigh was my sigh was like, I would love that, right?
Yeah.
But the issue is that our rink that we play at now is in a public park, and it's not in the. It was once not the best area.
Okay.
And so, the amount of traffic that's in there, and we've been
strapped when you go in there.
Yeah, the amount of. We've been lucky because the amount of disrespect to our rink has been at a minimum.
Okay.
But my fear is Parks and Rec is just a mess.
Yeah.
But
good luck finding funding ever.
Yeah. Well, and they also are giving away our rink time. So there's that.
Roller derby.
Yeah.
We're
lucky pickleball has been pushed other places.
Yeah.
Yeah, we kept them at bay.
But the issue is I'm everyone's like, oh, we could just buy an outdoor tile and just lay it down. It doesn't matter what Parks and Rec wants to do. And I'm like, that's a great idea. I would be all for it.
What happens when it disappears?
Well, that or the second someone puts a bat to it, you're taking it all up and replacing that one tile.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Well, hold on. I understand what you're saying, but you don't have to take it all up to do that. I've taken apart and put together too many rinks in my time. Yes and no. I think the big thing you got to worry about that Bourne did a good thing with was they bolted the nets down so no one could
That
ever
was
take them.
hilarious.
Do you guys have real glass or you netting?
We
have
got chain link.
Oh, okay. So that's even better than the netting. Sucks if you
Yeah.
get put into it, but
Oh yeah.
honestly, like a couple places I've seen cool stuff is where they just put it's almost like a garage door type of structure up over top of what you guys have already.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like a big
We've thought
fucking
about it.
aluminum structure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and so like our situation now is the Pittsburgh rinks. We bought one of their rinks.
Yeah.
And so now we have tile, we have NHL boards and NHL glass.
Yeah.
And so now we're just needing a place to put it. And so we're in a situation where we're kind of holding a few meetings to kind of see what is an actual potential place that we can put this rink.
I would tell you that your best bet is something storage. If you can find a storage type building,
Yeah.
that is by far your best bet. Or maybe you get on the phone with Nasher and see what he can do.
Yeah, right.
I still want to rematch with that bastard.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Andy, he doesn't want to respond to any of your comments.
No, he doesn't.
If you guys ever play it, let me know. I'll join.
We played him once already at Nasty Cup.
Yeah,
was it Nasty or was it Wish Cup? Was it
Wish Cup?
Put me on your team and I'll fly in for that day. I'm leaving after. I'm not staying for the rest.
Deal.
Perfect. But so we played him, and it's just an unfortunate event. Still Matt, great tile.
Yeah.
But in Tennessee, it's faces the elements.
Oh yeah, it does.
So
moisture is not its friend.
No, absolutely not. Moisture and pollen, and so we were playing them, and so that rink has just kind of just collected elements, and they do their best to clean it, and it's a great facility. The one unfortunate thing is that dust and pollen and wetness gets in there.
The only way that they would be able to make that better is if they took in do you know what, like the plastic they hang before you like enter like a freezer?
Mm-hmm.
If they hung that all the way down to the ground, that would actually change it tremendously.
Yeah. But and so like our team, we were in overtime. We're on a power play, and our guy goes to put on a hard brakes because he had one of the guys on defense, and he puts the brakes on, and he ate shit. Yeah. And they went down on a 2-on-1 and beat us in overtime, shorthanded. Yeah. And unfortunate, but he's Nasher's a decent player, average player, nothing special, but does all the fancy stuff that the kids love. So good on him.
Yeah, I mean, I can't be mad at the guy. He's building a rink in Columbus, so he's growing the sport in one way or another.
Yeah, exactly.
But I want a rematch with him.
I don't blame you.
We'll get it.
Make sure Woody shaves his mustache before you guys do that.
You don't like the mustache either, Hawkins?
No, I don't mind it by all means. I'm just a little afraid if you guys have any kids coming to the game.
Yeah, they might not let you in the park.
Oh, fuck.
So Hawkins, I love your honesty, and I kind of, you've been pretty honest with a lot of stuff here. Mm-hmm. So I want to know your opinion on this. So Tours has changed their schedule up a bit. Mm-hmm. And so for their nationals, they moved youth out of the blocks with the pro.
They don't do pro and youth together?
This is the first year that I know that they're doing it like this. They've moved the youth out the week after the pro. And they're doing like the Masters 30, 35, 40, and then the AAA and AAA in the same time frame as pro.
I don't really agree with it. I think that the whole point of growing the sport in my eyes is to make sure that the kids see the pro guys.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now I could understand that they probably got a lot of complaints because a lot of the dads are playing in the senior and stuff like that. And they probably want to play at the same time as the kids, so they're saving money. But that's why I've always liked the State Wars part is they do the they do the men's pro, they do the women's pro right at the same time as like all the youth stuff.
Yeah.
So you got the girls, you get the young girls to watch the women's division. You got the young boys to watch the pro division. So it's, in my eyes, you're growing the sport right there because they get to see something like, oh, I could do that someday.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yeah. My thought process behind it is that, and this is the only thing I come up with, is that the guys that are playing pro want to stick around and don't want to stick around for an extra week to go and play 30, 35s or, any of the masters. So they'll be playing pro and master at the same time.
And I can understand it, but I none of those guys are in shape enough to do both. There's a lot of guys that play 30, 35 or whatever and over and pro at the same time. And I think you'd almost have to have an IV every morning.
Actually,
which they had at Wish Cup.
They had at Wish Cup.
It's tremendous. It's a good idea. But like, yeah, I don't agree with that. I think kids always come first. Like by all means, especially for growing the sport of roller hockey, pro is pro, but in my eyes, what is pro roller hockey to everything else going on in the planet? We're not the NHL. I mean, we're some cool fucking tournament going on the weekend.
Yeah.
There's no contact. There's no fighting. You got guys that want to hold on to the puck for 7 minutes at a time and have fans boo at you because you haven't done shit but stand behind your net. And I can say this because fucking we've done it. But,
yeah.
But like, again, if we want funding from USA Hockey and everything like that, sport has to change for the good. And I think Timmy's done a good job with that, especially with his new thing, the National Development Program.
I saw that. That's sweet.
I think it's pretty cool. It's something different. But again, it can't just be one person doing it. It needs to be everybody. And I think the whole pro not during kids, I think that's taking away from the youth side of things. Because I remember as a kid, my favorite thing was I always wanted to watch Ernie Hartley play for Mission. So,
cool.
like CJ Oder play for the Mudcats, like things like that. Chad Siebel, JP Bielstein, like guys like that. Like I wanted to see the pro roller hockey when I was playing youth hockey. So the last thing I want to do is if we're there, like obviously like kids are going to want to play mini sticks and fuck around at the hotel and the pool. But if you're at the rink, that's something else you can do while the parents go up top and find the bar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
let's talk more about the development program. How much do you know about that?
I don't know jack shit about it. I just like the
idea.
Okay. Yeah. I got asked to participate in Worlds and told them I couldn't. Again, it's family over everything, right? So
yeah, absolutely.
Definitely.
But no, I think it's a tremendous idea. I know that Mr. Brennan with USA Hockey used to do a really good job with IIHF and doing like almost like a 3 or 4 day tryout to make the IIHF team. And I got invited to do that, and I couldn't go. I had to go to Calgary, the Calgary Flames development camp instead. So I never got to experience that. But to see something be built like it is definitely cool.
Yeah, I'm definitely curious on, because obviously they're going to be watching the games and stuff like that and pulling people out and like talking with them and inviting them. So that seems to be how they're going to be picking the array of players. Which is kind of cool. It means you're technically, in a way, being scouted.
Yeah, by all means, that's kind of what makes it a little cooler for me is you kind of give the guys that really never had a chance at doing anything like that a little bit of a chance.
Definitely.
Yeah. And you're doing it. I mean, all the adults are going in as within their state too. So you're doing it with your you're playing for your state in some sort of fashion. I know the youth is more the state itself, and the adults is kind of like you have to be living in that state, which I feel is what makes State Wars even harder.
Yeah,
because you can put together your team that you've played with, but those guys could not be moved away and not be living in your state, but you guys get together for big tournaments and play with each other. But I feel like it's even harder to get a group together and maybe not for some states, but I know like North Carolina for adults, there's only really 2, maybe 3 teams in North Carolina that can really put a team together.
Yeah, I agree
So
with you.
for some states, it's harder. In some states, it's probably easier, like New York, New Jersey, Florida, California, Michigan, those states, because they just have more population.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Timmy's whole idea behind it is he wants to make something like the NTDP program for ice hockey. I think that's a big time thing. Is that they can is just to replicate it, right? Our R&D department stands for rip off and duplicate. So why not do that with something else that you see?
Agreed.
Yeah. Now I'm curious here because, the obviously bringing in more teams is you're giving more people a shot, and you're seeing for someone like you that's played in the pro for quite some time, right? You're seeing newer teams, so you're kind of getting different getting to play against fresh faces and stuff like that. I mean, do you enjoy playing against a larger field, or do you feel like they should be tightened up a little bit?
The best way I can say this, and I don't want to get in trouble for it.
Damn.
I think a lot of the time it's if you add teams, it waters it down.
Okay.
Yep.
I think there's been times where you add teams and it gets really shitty, and that team gets mercied 4 straight games in a fucking row. And that's a waste of everybody's time, and it throws off the standings, and it throws off the good teams playing against other good teams, because in reality, all we want is best on best.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, do I think adding a team like France is a bad thing? No, I think it's fantastic. They're a good hockey team. We played against them at Worlds. I might not have been there. I was at 3 Ice. Nobody knows that. They're a different game, absolutely. But the thing that I like about it is adding another good hockey team will always add more competitiveness.
Yep.
If you had a bad team, there's no real point of it, because you're taking away some of the competitiveness, and everyone's like, oh, we get a break. We get to play that shit show over there. And it's point day. For the guys that only care about fucking individual awards, which is stupid as fuck to me.
Yeah. Well, and you got to play against, well, I don't know if you got to play against, but like Team Sweden, there was a Team Sweden that was put in last year. Unfortunately for them, it did not go all too well.
No.
But I understand. I understand bringing an international team.
You got to add those teams from different places.
Do you think when you have teams coming from Europe, and they have to play on our larger nets and our larger rinks, do you think that it's harder for them coming and playing here, or for players from the United States going and playing on smaller rinks with smaller nets when you go international?
I mean, we went and played international with the smaller nets, and the only real problem we had was the Czech team. And that was just because we both played such a puck possession, man-on-man type of game. That's what happened. Do I think it'll be different for them? Absolutely. Obviously, the smaller nets are stupid, and I think that if you're going to play like that, the last time I played in World Championships, which was the World, it was like the Olympic trial games. So that the whole idea was to get roller hockey into the Summer Olympics. Instead, they took fucking flag football. Like in my eyes, if you're gonna do that, that's the real size, make the rink the real size, and actually play roller hockey. That gives it more of a chance. Now, do I not like the small rink? No, I actually like the small rink. More things happen fast, and you don't really have a lot of time and space. So players that don't know how to play the game are weeded out very fast. So all the kind of the shittier players are weeded out. And I wouldn't mind that. I think the shittier teams and shittier players weeded out would only make the game better and only make the score better. But I think it'll be different for them. But do I think they'll have a problem with it? No, I think they'll figure it out pretty easily. They're a good roller hockey team.
Okay.
Cool.
Now, do you think the refs call different games in international? Like they call the games a little different?
Yes, international, you really can't touch each other.
Wow.
It's like in any way, shape, or form, stick, body. You can kind of do a little body. Any stick works like called like immediately. So that's a little different. There's a lot of flopping, honestly, in international play. Like that was a little odd for me. It was because you go into a battle with somebody and all of a sudden they're diving off the end of the diving board. So like that bothered me a little bit. But no, it's international wise, it was a lot of fun. And I know again, I wish I would have got to play a double IHF where it was fully funded and it was everybody's bringing their best team. And Czech Republic, or what is it? Czech Republic has Alex Hemsky and different guys like that. And you get guys that are big time ice hockey stars playing for their country because it means that much to them. So and I think we're on our way to that. I think Tim's done a tremendous job with USA and trying to make that tournament even better with each year that it comes.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, when we had CJ on last week, he was talking about the importance of how roller is such a small community that we really need to kind of figure out a way to get everyone on the same page and get everyone working together to grow.
Who'd you have on?
CJ Yoder.
Oh, it's another idol.
Mm-hmm.
Like if anybody even wants to remotely argue the fact CJ's probably the GOAT of our sport, like there's nobody even comes close to him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Played pro for all his years, built all the teams, builds youth hockey, brings kids in, helps run tournaments, helps run his rink, does everything like that. That's CJ. And he's so right. Nobody like the roller hockey community is so tight knit that in reality sometimes we gotta open ourselves up and add more and more people because it's the only way we're gonna open or we're gonna add to our sport in the correct way.
Yeah.
Now, obviously it's a scary thing because what's ours is ours, right? Like I don't like not seeing the same people every year. I want to see all the friends I grew up with and everything like that. So obviously people get a little weary of adding new stuff to something that they've known for so long. But I think roller hockey's in a great spot going forward. And I think CJ's a big reason for that. And he's a big reason why I ever really wanted to play roller hockey.
And he's got his PIHA Pro Finals going on starting tomorrow in Colorado Springs.
Is he playing?
No, his team got eliminated.
Oh,
his team made it out of the semis, and then they lost in the finals for the Western side.
Did he play?
Yes.
I love that even more.
Well, he all he talked about was he's just an old guy that just continues to play.
Bullshit, he's just an old guy that just plays.
Exactly.
That guy understands time and space more than anybody in the sport. He always will. And if you do him the wrong way, he cuts the toe off of his blade, and it's not fun to be hooked by. So remember that.
Yeah, they're gonna have those finals started up here.
Oh, it's awesome. That'll be fun.
Yeah, I think they're definitely live stream. It's a best of 7 series.
Oh, that's cool.
So they took the Western Conference Pro winners and the Eastern Conference Pro winners, and since there's only 2 divisions and there's maybe 8 teams total, I think it is, they will then take 2 winners and they merge them and they play best of 7, 2 games tomorrow, 2 games Saturday. It might have been 3 games Saturday, but it's like, until someone wins.
That's awesome. That should be a blast.
Yeah, and
it's gonna be streamed on Roller Planet on that YouTube channel. So check that out, everybody.
And that's at Justin. That's at CJ's rink too, right? With the scoreboard and the electric one, and he's got that. That place is pristine.
Yeah, it's
as it should be at CJ's rink.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's gonna be cool. I'm definitely gonna tune in and check it out.
Yeah, I mean, we talked. So, Hawkins, you talked about everyone coming together.
Yeah.
And I mean, I personally like to see. We have some smaller tournament circuits that, are they're not trying to take over the scene. They're trying to add to the scene, and USRC
Yep.
is one of them.
Yep.
And so with USRC comes the Justin, you're probably going to have to help me with remembering this. His nonprofit
Roller College Foundation and the
Yeah.
Women's College Roller Initiative.
I like it.
And so what he's trying to do is get more teams into whether it's a qualifier tournament or nationals tournament. And so, well, maybe not nationals because the season will be over, but like smaller tournaments like Florida Cup or USRC or, you know, whatever these other small tournaments are, and have them have a college division, right? And within that college division, they then will play some regular season games in those tournaments. And then they can also, the team has to put a small amount of money into the college fund. And what that college fund does is by those teams participating and putting money in, some of their players can be given scholarships.
Yeah, it's really cool. By all means, that's somebody that's trying to do good by the sport. And I'll never ever complain about something like that. I used to, when I transferred from BG to Northeastern, I skated with Northeastern's roller hockey team on Tuesday nights because they had the rec center they had part of the floor was sport court, so and 2 nets. So like I would always go up there and skate with them. That was my Tuesday night. So that was by all means, anything to help those guys out and help that sport. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. And then he's got the women's fund, which is trying to help fund and get women's college roller active.
That'd be cool. I think it'll be a little difficult by all means, but you got to start somewhere.
Yeah. And so it's something that he's trying to kind of band all tournament series together. They kind of try and, whether they want to work together or not is one thing, but like have the same mission, right?
Yeah.
And like expand and grow hockey. And, you know, because I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know if you ever look at college roller or anything like that. But it's as big as it's ever been.
Yeah. I've noticed and you see it every year with NCRHA and everything like that. So it's cool to see. It's cool to see it grow the way it has, but it just gives kids more opportunity to do something while they're in college, or honestly gives kids that wouldn't have had the opportunity to go to college an opportunity in the first place.
Yep.
Yeah, I think like D3 has almost 30 teams, if not more than 30 teams.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
You know, and you're talking scaling across the entire country as well. You know, and you have some people will say that Grand Canyon University is going to put up a fight against Lindenwood.
Good luck.
Yeah, I know. But I would love to see it, but they've been at the top for so long now.
I wish anybody luck that wants to play Lindenwood. They're fully funded. They give scholarships. That's where I would have won if I didn't play ice hockey. So I wish anybody luck who wants to take on the giant, but that's going to be a difficult thing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think someone just released on social media too, like all the top stat leaders, and it's littered with Grand Canyon players, and then obviously a bunch of Lindenwood players and players from some other schools and stuff like that. But then you have like Lindenwood goalies that are goals against average less than 1.
Yeah.
So
good luck. Good luck to Grand Canyon.
But
Dan, should we hit him with some rapid fire?
Absolutely.
All right.
Oh, I like it.
All right. Don't think too much about these. All right.
I won't go for it.
All right. You have a pretty hard shot, so you probably break a lot of sticks. What flex do you go with?
100 flex.
Yeah, bud. What are the best skates on the market right now?
Ice or roller?
Roller.
Well, I probably say I love my WMO1s, the missions, but I believe they're going to come out with something fun with Bauer here soon.
Okay.
So mission Bauer all the way.
Yeah, all the Bauer skates actually I think just went on discount.
Yeah, so they've got to be coming out with something here new.
Is it the Brandon Hawkins edition?
No. If it was Brandon Hawkins, it'd have white toe cap and a chrome side.
There you go. Do you like the tighter fitting uniforms of nowadays or the kind of big flowy floppy ones of the 90s?
No, the new uniforms are way better.
Well, they're
Do you
lighter.
like
They're
the-
lighter too.
Yeah, you don't sweat in a jersey and it becomes 15 pounds by the end of the game, so that's always a positive.
I mean, I just remember the '90s and early 2000s, the Pro Joys.
Yeah. Projoy, Hyper, anything you can think of in that era.
What's your favorite rink you've ever played at?
Roller hockey
Yes.
at Joe Dumars Fieldhouse.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
do you have a tournament series where you have a really nice memory from, like something that like you think about playing tournaments, it just pops in your head every time?
Yep, I believe it was 2008. I was on home care. Randy Kowalski ran and owned our team, and we won Arch. We got him to come down from the upper deck part of Hertz Arena or Germain or whatever you want to call it, where the Florida Everblades play. And he came down and took a picture with us. We wouldn't have been able to do it without him. So, and that was just the home care team at that time. He ran all that stuff. He was a tremendous human being, and a lot of us would have never got the chance to play roller hockey without him, to be honest.
Very cool. You already kind of said one, but give me the top 3 players of all time roller, in your opinion.
All time roller. You got to have CJ Oder. I mean, like, are you talking like pro, or are you talking like everybody that's ever played? Because you're
Use
getting
your
into a
discretion.
hairy territory.
Use the
Let's just
least
leave it-
hairy answers.
CJ, and CJ.
Yeah, but all right.
Yeah, nobody. It's not even close. You can put. You know what? CJ and Jerry Osterkamp.
Okay.
Because Jerry's done a lot of good things for youth roller hockey out on the West Coast. So to see him do those things for those guys, that's awesome. And I always looked up to Jerry. So
Who would you say are the top 3 now?
top 3 right now.
Yeah.
Travis No's got to be one. Junior Cadiz has to be up there. I mean, Eton has to be up there. John has to be up there. Matt White. Like, if you're going with that type of crew, it's like that's like all the guys on the West Coast that are a little older that are playing for Palma now were all the guys that me, Tyler, and those guys looked up to and wanted to play with and play against. So that was kind of the way we looked at things.
Awesome. 3 tips for young players getting started.
In roller hockey,
Yes, sir.
if you're not having fun, don't do it. Have an open mind, because not everyone's always going to think the same as you.
Yeah.
And then always have your rollerblades on. Doesn't matter if you're indoor, outdoor, if you're skating to class, if you're just out on a summer day and you're bored and you don't want to sit at home, put your skates on, put music on, and go for a skate.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with roller skating on a Friday night at the roller rink.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with it. It's something that it helps everybody skate. It helps you learn how to skate. In all honesty, it helps you learn how to dodge people that don't know how to skate. So it could help your hockey ability and your vision. Just it's about fun for me. That's the only reason why I come back. And if I didn't have fun, I wouldn't.
Heck yeah, man. All right, last question, and you kind of might answer it the same way you just answered that one. Do you have fun?
I have a blast. There's like if you see me at any roller hockey so, and all the guys will tell you this too. We'll play. You do 2 games a day. I get there Thursday. We'll skate Thursday night. Friday we'll play at like noon and like 6 o'clock. I don't go back, or I don't leave the rink between noon and 6 o'clock.
Beautiful.
I enjoy seeing everybody. I enjoy seeing the guys I grew up with. I enjoy seeing my dad's friends that he doesn't get to see anymore. I love seeing the vendors and the new things that are coming out, the rink rats, the Mars Blades, the Mission Bowers, the tour. Still Matt. like things like that, the different things that are coming out. Like I just love the sport and I love to be around the rink. That's another thing for young kids. Be a rink rat. There's nothing wrong with it. It's the best thing for you. Keeps you out of a lot of fucking trouble too. So there's that. You know what? Add another 2 guys to my roller totem pole would be Kenny and Kevin Houle, because they basically started Joe Dumars Fieldhouse, and all of us in the Detroit area wouldn't have been able to do anything or keep playing the way we do now without them. Matt Koleski, rest in peace. Again, he was one of me and Tyler's mentors. So to not have him, I don't know where I'd be. I don't know if I'd be playing ice hockey or if I'd even be enjoying the sport, because he was always the calming voice. My dad was always the one that was super hard on me, and Maddie was always kind of the one that would kind of help me piece back together and do different things like that to make things different in that sense. So to not mention him, it wouldn't be fair to his legacy or to who he is. He meant a tremendous deal to me, and I wouldn't be me without him. So, but to roller hockey, like, it's a fucking blast. It's meant to be a blast. It's not meant to be some fucking crazy pressure situation. It's meant to be throw your skates on, play 4-on-4. You have time and space and a ton of offensive ability, and go fucking have fun.
Yeah, man. I love it.
You've heard it from a long-standing professional player. Go out there and have fun.
Yeah, I'm a kid in an adult's body.
There you go.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, man, we appreciate you being on here, and we appreciate you being candid with us, and we wish you luck with everything you got going on.
Thanks, fellas. I appreciate it. Yeah, no, this is awesome. Any other time, or say after the roller season, if you guys want to talk again, let me know.
Yeah,
I'm always willing. Always willing. Maybe even at the tournament, that would be fun.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, we're trying to make it out the State War, so
we can do an in-person one. That'd be fun.
Hey,
we got you.
We got you.
See if we could do us and the Wheel Talk hockey guys. That'd be fun to get all of us together.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hell yeah.
They're good friends and tremendous people. So,
heck yeah.
Perfect. Appreciate you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
If you're viewing, make sure you like and subscribe. Leave a comment. And if you're checking roller hockey, don't let up because there's no offsides. I'm Dan Dean.
I'm Justin Wood.
Hawkins, thanks for joining us, man.
Not a problem, fellas. Appreciate you guys. Had a blast.
See you, man.
Later, man.
See you, boys.
No offside.